Here we go! IHSA playoffs 2022. And whoa. Before we start this video, before we get everything all hooked up and all that other stuff. Again, I did this last year, intro. I'm going to do it again this year because these playoffs will be a very weird playoff. From 1A to 8A. There's going to be some upsets like we had last season. There's going to be some shockers. There's going to be some scores that don't make any sense. So, when I say there's a definite favorite, in the back of my mind, I know some weird stuff's going to happen, and we live in IHSA football land, and there is going to be parity whensoever, there's going to be parity all over. And I would love to have a playoff team in the playoffs this year from 1A to 8A because I know something crazy is going to happen. We're going to have scores that don't make sense. And again, we're going to have outcomes that don't make any sense. And again, we saw it last season. We saw it in the regular season. This season, pretty good regular season, but we got into week 9 and we had some chaotic times. So again, don't be surprised if we have a lot of upsets this year. And again, it's going to be crazy. My name is Peter Leinweber, a.k.a. Coach Big Pete of DeepDishFootball.com. And let's get to the previews. Hit my music. All right, good afternoon, IHSA football family. This is 5A to 8A. Make sure you're following Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Visit deepdishfootball.com as well. Deep Dish Football Live again will be at 4:30 p.m. on Thursday, so check it out. All right, so we get into 5A. And as we talk about Sycamore. They've been undefeated. They beat Morse last week. They've done a wonderful job in that. I'm not even going to pronounce that conference's name. That conference name's a pain in the ass. Sycamore takes on Westinghouse. Sycamore's got a pretty good, easy thing till they get into that second game. So does Carmel. Carmel Catholic. Coach McKee has done a wonderful job with this Carmel team. Good youth movement as well. You could see them a little bit as that Morgan Park mold that was last year. They could get to 2 wins. They could get 2 wins in this playoffs. So definitely a thing you got to check out for. Noble Pritzker takes on Chicago good. St. Viator takes on Sterling. Ooh, Kale Ryan is on fire right now. So is about Antonio Talabante. St. Viator. Just like Carmel, they have had a great season. They deserve all the respect in the world. It's going to be a tough game, but St. Viator could edge out. We'll see what happens. But again, don't underestimate this Sterling team. Fenwick takes on Morgan Park. Fenwick lost last Friday to St. Ignatius. Morgan Park's that good, but again, this is another toss-up. What Morgan Park? We better not get the Morgan Park that played Simeon. I think Morgan Park can win this game. I think they can go pretty far because after their first game, it starts. They get a nice little, as you can say, break in the second round. Either them or Fenwick. Hillcrest. I think Boylan Catholic's going to win that one. Boylan Catholic. I think they're the real deal. Connor Dennis is the real deal. The quarterback is unbelievable. Has done an unbelievable job. Nazareth Academy. Glenbard South gets some of the worst pairings ever. Glenbard South gets Nazareth Academy. And I know Nazareth, they're 5. I know it's not the same. I know. But they still have a hell of a team. That Glenbard South defensive line's got to do something. No doubt about that. Glenbard South, if they can get the first win, and they can get into Boylan, and they can get the win, watch out. Coach Chrissy and that. So we'll see what happens with them. Mama Hoot Seymour, number one in the Southern thing. Mama Hoot Seymour, again, like I said, White Bowman has had a wonderful season so far. Quentin Rogers, another player to keep an eye out for. Great offensive line. They look really good. They have a far excellent shot at making it to the state title game. Jacksonville, Elijah Owen just aimed 8 touchdowns. Metamora is going to be a big challenge for him. LaSalle Peru takes on Morris. This Morris team is strong. LaSalle Peru, it's good to see you guys back. Can LaSalle Peru get that upset? We'll see. Troy Triad, the big team that I really see in Mama Hoot Seymour being that gets that challenge would be Morris. That's the big thing that I would have to say. Dunlap takes on Highland. I think Highland can get that W. Muscata, Marion, I think Muscata's going to get that one. The Decatur MacArthur takes on Peoria. Peoria. The thing is that, oh man, you're talking about, okay, Peoria gets the win, and who they got? Who they got after? They might have to get Kankakee or Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon could be a dark horse and make an upset on Kankakee. So do not sleep on this Mount Vernon team. Coach Dan Mings has done a wonderful job. Kankakee, what Kankakee team are we going to get? That's the big question. Peoria is unbelievable. And they proved it after that Normal West loss. Congratulations to the Peoria team. Coach Thornton's got a hell of an offensive line. The big thing will be their defense. That's going to be huge as well. But the big thing for me, I see is that Highland team. There's something about this Highland team this year. They can make a very deep run. In the semifinal, you can get a Highland versus a Mama Hoot Seymour. I know it's crazy. One seed versus 2 seed in that bottom bracket. Yeah, I know. I'm throwing it out there. I'm gambling right now. All right. We go to 6A. All right, for 6A, we got Shures. Congratulations to Shures making the playoffs. Well deserved. Wakanda 8-1. They lost to Grays Lake North. Antioch, Niles Notre Dame. That's an up in the air game right there. St. Ignatius is going to be a pain in a lot of people's asses because, one, they're a triple option offense. And what's the first rule about triple option offenses? Wing T offenses, wing bone, flex bone, and all that. They're a pain in the ass for defensive coordinators. So again, the St. Ignatius team is going to be very good. Belvedere North, they've had their 2 last games have been losses. What Belvedere North team are we going to get? That's the most important thing. Are we going to get the hot team for the first 7 games, or are we going to get the cold team the last 2 games? So we'll see what happens. Crystal Lake South, Prairie Ridge, big, nice little rivalry game right there. I'm going to think Prairie Ridge has been one of my big top teams for 6A. They've got a great shot. They're replacing that role of Cary Grove. And again, the offense is a pain for defenses. Riverside, Brookfield versus Kalen. I think Kalen's going to get that one. Grays Lake North, good shot at winning that one. Edmondson at Harlem. Can Edmondson get the upset? Because Harlem's coming to that game as the favorite. Edmondson can get that upset. I believe in this Edmondson team. I feel that this is being an overlooked Chicago public school team. This Edmondson team is going to be good. So keep an eye out. They have a hell of a quarterback too. And if we look at it, and we look far away, Prairie Ridge right now is favored in that second bracket. In the second pairings. Up top, it's anyone's game. It really is anyone's game. Antioch can make a great run. Antioch can make a huge run. So can St. Ignatius. Race Lake Central too. Belvedere North if they heat up. It's going to be very interesting. We get to the bottom. Blue Island Eisenhower plays a tough Lamont team. No doubt about it. Lamont's been killing everyone. Can Eisenhower get the upset? That's going to be huge. Chatham Glenwood taking out Quincy. Quincy's had a hell of a season. Great passing attack, taking on the Glenwood team with another passing attack. Jack Newsom is an unbelievable quarterback. David Hay is leading this Glenwood team. But again, the 2 losses were tough. Those were 2 tough losses. And they're playing a hot team in Quincy, so we will see what happens. And Glenwood's hot themselves, so definitely a thing to watch out. Kenwood takes on Perspectives. I think, Kenwood. Bremen takes on Washington. That's another interesting game. Bremen could heat up and be a dark horse team in this 6A, so don't sleep on Bremen. But again, Oak Forest, big shout to Oak Forest, by the way, making the playoffs. Congratulations to you guys and the whole Bengals team. They take on Simeon. And Simeon is tough. They are the real deal. So, yeah. Centennial takes on Crete-Monee. Crete-Monee, they've been hanging up. Coach Kanicki has done a wonderful job with Crete-Monee. It's a tough one. Danville, Normal West. Normal West defense has been unbelievable. East St. Louis, yes, everyone's going to be talking about East St. Louis. They take on Richards, and everyone's going to think, well, you know what, this East St. Louis has won this, it's done, it's over. Not so fast, my friend. We did this last season. People, and they lost to Cary Grove. They'll play any other team, but they do not want to play Prairie Ridge. They do not want to play, where is it? St. Ignatius. They want to keep that far away from those 2 schools as humanly possible, and Grays Lake Central as well. Those 3 schools, we're good. No. They don't want to face those schools. That's one of the biggest things right now. And we'll see. Because, again, East St. Louis, they had a lot of wins, but again, that big thing was that tough loss to the Georgia Creekville team. That didn't sit well. And that didn't sit well for a lot of prognosticators and media and that. So we'll see. We will see what East St. Louis team are we going to get. Are we going to get the team that's hot, or are we going to get the team that thinks they're good and thinks that they belong in the state title game? It's going to be easy. It's going to be nothing, and then end up losing. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting in the 6A, no doubt about that. All right, we get to 7A, and for 7A, and just a little bit for one thing about 6A too. Simeon, do not sleep on the Simeon team. I'm telling you that right now. I know a lot of people they're not sleeping on this team, but there's something special about this Simeon team this year. Very special about this team. Andre Cruz, Malik Easley, all those guys. Burgess, their defensive end. This Simeon team is special. All right, so for 7A, it's a lot like 1A. Lena Winslow, in that role, Mount Carmel plays that Lena Winslow role. Mount Carmel is just that too damn good. Mount Carmel is the real deal. Jordan Lynch has a clear path to the state title. They're that good. I'm telling you that right now. No jokes. No, this team and that team. I just don't see it. Mount Carmel's that damn good. DGN takes on Lincoln Park. I think DGN can get that W. And I think DGN then we'll have Mount Carmel come to DGN. So that would be an interesting game. But I think they're going to win that one. Brother Rice at Jacobs, big time game right there. Bradley Bourbonnais, they could do something. They got Collinsville. They got to go to Collinsville. But we'll see what happens. If they were to get, I'm trying to think. I'm not going to get into that seeding part. St. Charles North, another big team. Pomsack has worked his wonders with this team. Again, where they're seated, they're pretty good. But they got St. Rita. And St. Rita takes on Geneva. Geneva has been the big surprise this year. They've played their butts up. They were the surprise last year, but they improved the records from this year to last year. St. Rita is unbelievable. Pat Farrell is playing lights out. That defensive line, that offensive line, unbelievable. Derek Stewart has done a wonderful job at running back. 2-quarterback system. This St. Rita team is the real deal. Hersey, we get into the other one. Hersey, Argo. Argo has had a wonderful story, but I think Hersey's just too much. Batavia, Gullford. I think Batavia is good. And I hate to say this because It's Batavia. They can't be. I think Batavia is going to be a dark horse team this year. I think Batavia is going to do some damage, some real serious damage. Libertyville at Yorkville. I got to go with York. I think Yorkville is going to win that one. And I think Yorkville, that's another team that's very interesting. The Calp takes on Moline. Ooh, that's a toss-up right there. That is a tremendous toss-up. Plainfield Central at Pekin. Last year, I forgot the team that went to Pekin. They got absolutely smashed. Hopefully it doesn't rain and it's not cold. That's going to be a game. But these Pekin Dragons are the real deal. Don't sleep on them. Hano takes on a normal community. Willowbrook gets into the playoffs. They take on Wayne North again from last year in the playoffs. Wayne North won that game. I think it was the quarterfinals or semifinals. But Willowbrook, they have the quarterback. We'll just see what again with the other play in their defense against a strong Wayne North team that, again, they were on and off, but they've fully sustained to that 8-win record. We'll see what happens. And Lake Zurich, Coach Plants, congratulations to Coach Plants and Lake Zurich. They take on Larkin. Larkin's back in the playoffs. Congratulations to Larkin, by the way. So, Lake Zurich. If you think about it, if you look at everything, Lake Zurich has got a good shot of getting into the quarterfinals in pretty good fashion. But again, we in North could play spoilers, and Hano could be a little bit of a challenge. So could Pekin. But I really believe in this Lake Zurich team. For Pekin, I think Pekin's going to meet. I think Pekin is going to meet Lake Zurich, but we'll see what we get out of Wayne North. That's going to be the tremendous thing. They got a great offensive line, so we'll see what happens there. We'll go up a little bit more. Yeah, Hersey's got you got to love where Hersey's seated. Hersey, they're seated pretty well. They got a pretty good seed, to be honest with you. Elk Grove is a good starter, but I think that's going to be finished off pretty soon. St. Rita at that 12 seed. St. Rita's going to be bashing some heads, no doubt about that. So don't sleep on that St. Rita team. I'm telling you that right now. And Mount Carmel, to me, again, they're the favorites. They're the favorites. Blaney Dowling, that offensive line, that defensive line, they've been playing lights out. They beat Loyola Academy. This Mount Carmel team is the real deal. They've been the constant performers in the IHSA and the big conferences with the CCIL. So Mount Carmel, to me, again, you got to see them as the favorites. You just have to. You just have to see them as the favorites. I know I'm going to get, you hate all the other teams. I don't. It's Mount Carmel. Would I be surprised if there's an upset? No. Again, like I said, Illinois high school football parity is the greatest thing in the world. But there's going to be parity, no doubt about that, this season, this offseason, postseason playoffs. So, no doubt about that. All right, so we get into 8A and 4A-8A. Lincoln Way East almost lost to Bradley Bourbonnais week 9, but Lincoln Way East, they're just that damn good. Neuqua Valley, what are we going to get? That's going to be the big question. Stevenson versus Warren, they take on the same conference rivals, Warren Township, and I'm sticking to my guns. I'm going to say this right now. I said this in the preseason. I think Warren Township can challenge for a state title. I think they can go for a state title. I think Warren Township can make it all the way. In Coach McNulty, we trust. In Coach, and people are going, Coach McPete bet against us. I'm angry. Slow down. But I really do like Warren. I hope McNulty gets I hope he gets the title. Zollner is always he's the best. He's one of the best coaches in the state and even in the country. But this Lincoln Way East team, there's just something. I don't see Corner challenging Lincoln Way East. I think in the Lane Tech versus Neuqua Valley, I think it's going to be Neuqua Valley versus Lincoln Way East. To be truthful with you, we'll see what happens. But I just don't see any challenges for Lincoln Way East the first two games. I think Warren Township, that's going to be a hell of a game in that quarterfinal game. That's my personal feeling. Bolingbrook at Maine South. Bolingbrook in that second little pairings grouping. Bolingbrook is good. It depends on what the freshman quarterback can do. Because if you got a young freshman, what do? You want to put pressure on him. It'll be interesting as he starts off against Maine South. And then South Elgin, ladies and gentlemen, is a dark horse South Elgin runs the asshole offense. I'm telling you that right now because there's a lot of defenses that always have problems with those types of offenses. South Elgin is my dark horse team. Big shout to Coach Dragon Teneknik. He's a hell of a coach. Homewood Flossmoor's got a great chance to upset Glenbrook South. Homewood Flossmoor. Lockport goes against Glenbard West again. Another they saw again last year. This will be another big time game as Lockport takes on Glenbard West. But I think it's going to be. I think Homewood Flossmoor can be a dark horse again this season. Oswego East York. York played Minooka last year. They lost in the first round. York has Oswego East. This is their biggest test yet. Can they get that first win? That's going to be the big test against this Oswego East team. Stop Trey Jones, stop Trey Jones, stop Trey Jones. And again, York, if they get that first win, look out. They got to get that first window. They got to beat Oswego East. That's the most important thing. Naperville North takes on Marist. What Naperville North team are we going to get? The DuPage Valley Conference, again, has been an absolute pain in the ass sometimes. It literally has. You don't know what team you're going to get and what performance you're going to get. So it'll be interesting. Downers Grove South at Palatine. That's another big-time interesting game. Ryan Dawson at quarterback. Palatine, Jalen Williams, Dominique Ball, Deion Davis from the DGS. A lot of stars to power in that game. We'll see what happens. Minooka takes on Glenbard East. That's a smash mouth. That's a smash mouth game right there. And Glenbard East has got one of the best defensive lines in the state. Minooka, it's got a great pairing. They have a great pairing at that game because they can honestly be a good dark horse. They don't want to see York again. I guarantee you that if York were to win. Plainfield North, pretty good thing. Naperville Central, Lyons Township, again, two teams up in the air. Loyola Academy, I think that loss helped them out a lot. I really do think that loss to Mount Carmel helped them out a lot. They got to be favorites in that lower bracket. Edwardsville at O'Fallon is the last game. O'Fallon won that meeting last time. I think O'Fallon is going to escape with that win again. But again, you know the rule. If you saw a team in the regular season, you beat them, you don't want to see them in the playoffs. Edwardsville's got a good chance. Plainfield South has done a wonderful job. But they are playing Loyola Academy. Can Plainfield South get it done? Yes. But the big thing for Loyola Academy would be stop Brian Stanton, stop Brian Stanton, stop Brian Stanton. That will be the most important thing. So the quarterback is going to have to try and beat Loyola Academy with the passing attack. No doubt about that. Rich Township. I had Rich Township as my surprise team. Glad to see that they're Plainfield North is just that too damn good. Demir Asher is the real deal. This is a big time 8A thing. Lincoln Way East. Do we have, in this 8A, do we have a for sure team right now? Do we have a for sure team? Because there's questions with Lincoln Way East. There's questions with Loyola Academy if they got lost to Mount Carmel. Plainfield North has played one of the more solid games in this whole bracket. South Elgin, the big question is, have they played any teams their same size with a higher level of talent? That's going to be a big question for them. Maine South, there's questions about Maine South. There's questions about Glenbard West. Homewood Flossmoor, questions. DGS, questions. Marist, questions. Naperville North, we thought they gave up two games. They lost 2 games that were supposed to be wins for them. They were honestly supposed to be wins for them. What Naperville North team are we going to get? And Huntley, we look at Huntley, same thing as the Fox Valleys I talk about the DuPage Valley. Everything was chaos. Can Huntley, I'll tell you right now, I'll have Huntley as one of my surprise teams. I believe in this Huntley team. I think this Huntley team can go far. But again, this 8A is there's a lot of questions and not a lot of answers. That's the big thing. All right, make sure you follow Coach Big Pete, Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Deep Dish Football Live every Thursday now for playoffs at 4:30. Do Page Run Shoot Show. Follow me and my co-host Patrick Cotto. It comes out Thursday night, usually Friday morning. Breakfast with Coach Big Pete Sunday at 9 a.m. Make sure you check that out. And that is it. Follow Coach Big P and Deep Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And on TikTok, my email again, coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Send me your hate mail like usual. And again, coaches, if you need me as motivation, go ahead. Take a little bit of a clip of the video, play it for the kids, and say, Coach Big Pete doesn't believe in you. And then you guys all eat shit and crow. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you'd like to work, feel free to leave a tip donation via VENMO or PayPal. Thank you guys so much. Have a lovely day. Let's get ready for some playoff football. It should be exciting. I'm excited. And best of luck to every team.